Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well. Purpose of this video is to set up midnight sidechain and validator at the same machine. Just a dirty setup to prove that it's working. It's easy to set up. I'm just setting up a temporary server. All the keys will be destroyed. Of course, you need to set up security. You need to set up all nitpick that you need to do for yourself. It just following the tutorial and setting up midnight sidechain and validator at the same machine. Let's get started. What we need to do, update your VPS when you set up the machine. Now let's install Docker Compose. Once installed, we can check the Docker version. Here we run a test hello world container to make sure everything is set up and working properly. Now let's install PostgreSQL. Let's source it. It's required to install dir-env. Let's append it and reload the shell. Let's clone the Docker repository. Once in there, you need to run directory env allowed, dir-env allow. Let's start the partner chain dependency. What it starts is Cardano node, DB sync, Postgres, and August. I'm going to install and start. Don't forget, we need to open the ports. It's an optional. I always set up Portainer in my setup. It's easy to read the logs rather than through the terminal. So it's optional. If you like, good. If not, then you can just skip that part. You can just use your VPS IP address with port 9000 to access the Portainer. It's a nice, nifty, handy tool for quick error handling, or what would you say? Quickly debug. Let's remove hello world container that we tested in the earlier when we're setting up Docker. All the systems are running. We can go in, check the process of it. Everything is running perfectly okay. You can check Augment servers at port 1337. 1.17% synced, so it's working. Let's download Sidechain Live View, a small tool that we put together. It tells you some information about sidechains, Cardano sync process, your DB sync process, and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to make a separate folder. I call the script. You could call anything you like, to keep midnight stuff separate and script separate. Of course, you need to change the permission to run this script. What Augmus is telling you, it will literally tell you almost the same information. We are sync at 2.90%. We just gotta wait until process sync is complete. It take about 8 to 10 hours. If you run the script back again, there you go, it's 100% complete, but DB sync is not showing. The reason is we have to update the password in your sidechain live view script. You can get the password from postgre.password in your midnight node docker folder. Here's the password. I'll copy. Go back to your script folder. And update your site SC live view SH file. Replace your password with your password. Now when you run the file, you'll see the sync process. At 60% done, we gotta wait until it's 100%. Let's go back and see if it's synced completely. There you go, 99.99% synced. That's the highest it goes anyway. So sidechain is set, it's working okay. Now next step, let's create the keys. We need to go into the shell to create the keys. Third step, you will find a command to run to generate the key. Once you type that in, it will generate the key. I'll suggest always make a backup copy of it, all the files. We're gonna be needing public sidechain key.json file later on for script purposes. You can get them anytime. There's the data folder, chain folder, undeployed, all the keys are there. This is the important find partner chain, public key.json. Now, next step, you need to register your key as a candidate. I will be not doing it since my pool is already registered. If you follow 1, 2, 3 steps, it's easy to set up. There's no issue at all. There was in the past, but not anymore. Let's continue. You can exit out of the container. Remember, we opened ports 3001, 13, 37, port 22 for SSH, and 9000 for Portainer. That was optional if you install Portainer. Now we need to open 2 more ports. One for sure, 30333. That would be to produce a block. You need that port to be open. And then if you're running Prometheus, you can open 9615. If not, that's optional. Yeah, let's check the status of all the ports. Again, you need to secure your VPS as you required. This is just a quick setup. I'm not securing anything. I'm gonna destroy this VPS after a day or so. Now let's just start the compose file. So we can start the validator node. There you go, it shows up in Portainer. If we go in to see the logs, there you go. Midnight node is the validator node. Since node is starting, let's download the midnight live view script that will give us information. It will allow us to monitor our node. Before we go in, we need to update, export, append ARGS line in your .envrc file. So if you scroll down, you will see file right there. You can just comment it out. Oops. Copy this over. Anytime you make change in the NVRC file, you need to run the command to reload the environment variables. Let's install the monitoring tool. Oh, don't forget, I keep everything in my script folder, so we exit out from this directory. We go back to script folder, and now we can run the command to download the file. Now let's change the permission to make it executable. Let's run the command. Before we run the command, we're going to make sure that we have the proper name for container name. So live, you know where to look for. And remember, the partner chain public key.json file that we got when we created our key, you need to copy it over. So live, you know what to look for. Okay, it's syncing. We need to wait until the process is done. Dave from Dave's Stake pool is running all the setup at one machine, so he was able to figure out he need to add 2 more tags toward end of the file in your .envrc file. 2 more variables. One is port, which is 9944, and your keystroke path that you have in when you created your key, where the keys got generated. Let's follow this. Add your port and keystroke path. My path is different than you guys, probably because I added my keys in data chain, the way we set up in on the 2 separate machines. But since you're running everything in one, you can just leave your file where they are. You don't need to make any changes. It will pick up automatically. Finger crossed. So let's exit. We need to reload env file, envrc file, variable file. His instruction says you need to source envrc file again, which down here, need to stop the node. You need to remove the Docker container. you need to, oh shit, hold on, I need to do docker dash compose. Up and detach mode. Okay, Docker start successfully. Let's check the logs. Let's go to script folder and run the live view to see where we at. Yeah, there you go. Keys showed up. Thanks, Dave, for Dave's stake poll to figure this part out. It's not my keys not registered because I did not run the register process. These are temporary keys I have. You can check the connected peers. Once your registration go through, you need 2 epochs, and your registration is not registered right now. Yours will turn into green, says your node is registered. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped. Again, purpose of the video to show it's running, everything's running on one machine. Thank you. Have a good day.